Okay, so I'm gonna start by clearing the decks. This over here. All right, so as before, I'm just gonna start doing some fun stuff. And last time we discussed what we were gonna do, I talked about the dream journal that was made available for the Kickstarter, but you can use any notebook that works for you. Just think of it as a place where you put sacred work. And this is the World of Dreams journal. So what I did is I recorded our last session, and the themes were about integration, balancing opposites, and it was about achieving a victory through manifestation. So everything was about a test about how we manifest what we want when we're challenged. We lit a yellow candle to usher in the new year and to help actualize our manifestation. When I watched the flame was an orange golden yolky color as it burned. It would flicker and move towards me. I used a rattle to banish unwanted energies. I lit rose-scented incense, and I played Ganesha's Remover of Obstacles mantra. And once again, this is just an idea of like if you have a tarot practice, or if you don't and you want to listen to these readings, like think of it as a ritual, right? This is the ritual that we're having together. It's pleasant. It's the aim is very positive. So I recorded my dreams, and I told everybody for the next week, record your dreams and see if you find patterns, right? So for me in particular, I'm dreaming of communal spaces, and everyone within these communal spaces, there's two different groups of people. There's one that I would kind of say, gosh, how would I describe it in a way that isn't too confusing? There are different groups, but they're individuals who work towards the greater good of the collective. So the work that they do enhances the quality of living for everybody, right? They're all here to help humanity. The other group that I encounter in my dreams, on and off, they create a nightmare. And they're very negative, they're very violent, they chase me, they're harmful towards me, and they don't like the kind of work that I'm doing. So communal groups, two separate ones. That's the theme of my dreams, and I had some very intriguing dreams, and I wrote each one of them down in detail. And in the comments, if you wanted to share your dream, you're more than welcome to. If it's too private, I get that too. I just gave you like a little bit of like what I was noticing as patterns within my dream. But a lot of it, one wise elderly woman said, I figured out where I know you from. We were a hive in a past life. We were bees, and we helped and we worked together. And now we found each other again in this life, and we're doing this work to help one another out again. Other dreams that I had were, to an elderly couple in the snow, and the lady had either fallen or laid down, but the snow was on her face and neck, and the elderly gentleman gently brushed the snow from her face and neck, and their skin was bright red from the cold of the snow. But he loved her, and he was so tender and so protective of her that he was using his own body to keep her warm and was moving the snow off her face. So it was a message of love, and love that stands the test of time, right? But the dreams I had, they were so impotent and intense that I would like to, the next week, following week, record my dreams and see what else comes up. And you're welcome to do this with me. But this is the dream work aspect of it. And for a lot of other people, you can take a card, right? You can take a card, and we just cleared it out. Dwellings, right? Okay, so then I would dream and think of dwellings, and dwellings relates to an actual home or the psyche, right? Or the subconscious, right? So it's like, how does that pertain? Oh, I can use my subconscious and psyche to balance my elements, right? And I think of it as being a magician in life. When you balance all these facets and you master these facets of yourself, you master your mind and your environment, right? So like that would be something for me, you know, if you feel called to it too, you know, destruction, getting rid of the old ways. Yeah, we're coming into a new cycle where the old ways, the old mandala needs to be closed out so that the new one can begin. Which is hard because a lot of people don't like change and they don't like power dynamics changing, but this is the will of the universe. So, you know, it's like trying to fight waves in the ocean. It's impossible. You can delay things, but you can't prevent the will of the divine. So, I'm really excited about this. We're going to do some candle magic too. I better get to it. I'm getting a little chatty. But we're creating magic, right? So we're willing the magic and we're bringing it to us. We're also calling in for the aid and help of our ancestors so that they can guide us and serve our higher good. This is a read for the collective. What does the collective need to know that is going to be beneficial and helpful to the collective? Past position. What does the collective need to know? I hope everyone's doing good. I know it's been a while. I've been really busy with work and whatnot. And then we've been working on the project, getting it into fruition. And right now we're working on the color story. Whoa. All right. Top one, counsel. So there is a need for counsel. Magic. Magic and higher concepts. And chasing for goals and manifestations. So we are leading off exactly where we left the reading. We're getting counsel in terms of a rebirth. We're practicing our manifestations and willing things from the ether, right? We're taking what's from the ether and we're manifesting it and making it real. And we are now on the path, the yellow brick road, to figuring out how to claim what it is we seek. Present position. What is the present? Yep. The elements. Balancing the elements leads to empowerment. Oh, okay. Well, I kind of want to put these off to the side, but I'm going to reabsorb them into the deck. And what I might do is just kind of tell you how it's going. So we are being called to master our elements, the thoughts, the emotions, fire, will, passion, drive, manifestation, and then pentacles is like how you, manifest things on the earthly plane. It could be like finances, business, legacy, family. Think of it as a garden. And then it says empowerment. So this reading is specifically about empowering ourselves, right? Getting back into our power, flying above the problem and assessing things from a distance. Sometimes when we remove ourselves from the problem and take a step back, we start to see things more clearly, and that's the position that we need to do in order to empower ourselves. And then in the death card, the mask is broken, and the mask is somebody smiling, right? This person is smiling because they want to project that they're perfect to the outside world. But inside there's pain, there's loss, there's shame. But when the mask, the illusion breaks, right? The heart cracks open, and then endless possibility, infinite possibility is open to this person because they're living their authentic self. And when you want to do, magic, manifestation, a big part of that is like being your authentic self and being comfortable with it, right? Not living in lies and illusion. And so what was attached to this is this ending. It's like, give it time, and it's gonna feel like a loss. which is uncomfortable, you know. Nobody wants to feel a loss, but it's like, you'll see, like, when this happens, you'll be like, okay, like, but what it does is it ends something. It ends the cycle. And then, interesting, there's 2 cards on this too. So then the spirit world, animal spirit, and laughter comes in. The spirit world's got our back and is trying to bring joy in for us, but we're going to be in a kind of maze-like energy. You know, we go down one path, 3 paths open up. We go down that path, there's a dead end. We have to go back. It's just figuring out what way is the right way. But the problem with that is that it's not a concrete plan, and you want to have concrete plans as you move through life, especially when you have goals, right? When you're working towards a goal, you want to be able to know the layout, what you need to do at each step. It's like baking, right? It's like baking instructions. You can't skip a baking instruction. You have to go step by step in order to, you know, achieve success at the end of it. And manifestations are very much like that too. And then here we go, the source, collective consciousness. So this is a reading for the collective, and this is about the collective unifying. And, you know, from what I'm seeing from my dreams, to me, what I believe we connect in dreams. And those of us who are wanting to work together will start dreaming about each other. We'll find each other in these dream spaces. Next, I'm going to use this other deck in order to clarify what the next section is. So I'm just going to give this a shuffle. And at any point in the reading, if you ever feel called to ask a question, please do so, and then I can answer it for you. So it looks like we have Page of Swords. And this is a cold weather, like incoming news. This was the past. This is when we got news about something. It's a kind of quick energy. In my deck, it's rebellious and punky. So something happened that stirred everybody up, and we got incoming news and messages. And in magic, 4 of Cups, there's like this state of ennui, like we're focusing on the cups that we don't have, and the divine's like, hey, your focus just shifted to something else, and your divine cup is here. Like, why are you forgetting what your divine purpose is, right? And the chasing, there's the Tower. So in my deck, the Tower is about collective consciousness as well. And I'm going to show you up close. It's the collective mind. And it's in a cage. And the divine is trying to reach us to break us of these, like, this kind of prison, right? Be free. You know, you're meant to be free. Your mind is meant to achieve beautiful things, to manifest beautiful things on this planet. It's not here to manifest war and fighting and suffering. That's not what you're called to do, and you can feel it in your heart. It goes out of alignment with who you are. So in terms of this chasing, there's this Tower moment, but the divine is stepping in for us. We're working on our elements, and it's saying when you do this work, Page of Pentacles, this is working to get the pentacle in the beginning of something. You work and you learn and study, and you do it with a group of people. So power in numbers, right? Get your friends who have common interests together, people that you resonate with, or you're like, oh, they're successful. Like, how did they get there? Like, how did they get this point? I would love to spend time with them and see how they achieve this success. But it's really about working together, and the togetherness is a huge message so far in this reading. And it's like, yeah, this is how we succeed, when we all help each other. And this empowerment, this is like traditions and values. And in my deck, it's like you create new traditions and new values, right? Because the old way of being was like suffocating. It was restrictive, right? So this person wipes it clean, and then there's this kind of like computer generated like background where it's like choose your own adventure. You make your own destiny, right? And the two Gothlings are the initiates into this new world, and they have the keys to the kingdom. And I have Klaus Nomi in this card, which is really fun. But yeah, getting empowered by creating your own belief systems, believing, you know, moving away from the old and like going into new things that are gonna inspire you. But it's, you know, but there is that tradition, and there is that kind of construct that needs to happen, or else we go in this maze energy, which we kind of want to avoid, because when we were in the pandemic, the maze energy was really strong. So the end of something. King of Pentacles. So, you know, we're wanting to manifest, and we want to manifest here, specifically, in this earthly plane. We have gardens, and there's going to be some sacrifice. That's what the loss is. The loss is the sacrifice for some things in order to gain other things. But this is about legacy, right? And so in this deck, the wealth is nature. The wealth is family. The wealth is community. Lay both of those there. And here we have laughter and Nine of Wands. Okay, so there's the spirit world. The spirit world's reminding us, hey, like this plane of existence has got you exhausted. You are wiped out. And when you manifest, when you create and worry, look at that. You know, it's got you up at night. It's got you stressed out. And if you're trying to manifest something, your mind's got to be really clear. It's got to be really focused, you know, and you got to have the energy. It's, you know, when I would do like rock climbing, whenever you would attempt a wall, you know, you had to make sure like the last part of the climb, you had enough juice to finish it, right? So you're tired, but you got to make sure that you have enough energy to get to that finish line. And so it's telling you, like, connect to spirit, connect to ancestors, ask your ancestors for help, ask spirit for help. And then you can make it, you know, to this finish line. And then there's this Seven of Wands, and this is my witchy card. This is the judgment. This is like, oh, the witches, they're eccentric and they're different, and they're, you know, and people judge them, and or they make fun of them, or they don't take them seriously. But, you know, since the beginning of humanity, we've had shamans, we've had seers, we've had people who dedicate their life, and usually because they're psychic, they are connected to the spiritual world, they can commune, they can see it. There's some ability or a talent that is there, right? And so these people come to help humanity. Whenever something's wrong, they're like, hey, warning sign, these are the dangers. This is what's going to harm the collective. I'm telling you so you can protect yourself, right? And what happens is people who want to control things, like in this card, they don't like it when these people come to warn the collective. They don't like it at all, right? But nature, the divine, the spirit world, and other worlds have brought these people to help. So when they start attacking these people, they start getting in trouble. But this is like, hey, if you feel judged, if you're different, and people like, yo, you're different, and they're gonna judge you, it's like, you know, always know that you're a gift. You're beautiful. You're amazing, and your insight is what's gonna help us all together as the collective, as humanity, reach the finish line together, right? And so in this collective source, Seven of Pentacles, we're putting in the work. We're chipping away, toiling away, right? Working at it. But as we're working, we're still wounded from like what we've been through in these past few years, right? Past several years. I would say like a 4 to 5 time range is what I'm seeing. But we've really kind of been through it, and we're trying to heal, and then we're like right back in it. We're, you know, working on what we want, you know, working to pay the bills, like working to get to our goals. Like we haven't like fully rested. So we're trying to recover while we're working, and that's what the collective's doing. And that kind of makes sense why we're getting this Nine of Wands, like, oh, I'm almost to the finish line, but I'm really tired. And then this feeling of like, gosh, I feel so attacked and like having to defend yourself. Like, it's just a lot. Everybody's just taking on a lot. So if you feel tired and you're like, well, how come I don't have energy, and how come I'm not doing this and this? It's like, hey, like anyone who's been through what you've been through would be, you know, reacting the same way. We're human, you know, we're not machines. I know this society wants us to be these like productive, you know, capitalist, like money-making machines. But in all reality, we're souls, we're spirit, right? And we got to honor that we're here to cultivate our spirits, to evolve. That's our mission here, to love, to learn from each other, to grow. And so here, Masters of Reality, when we got that news, it was people who are big game players and they want their reality to triumph. And so they had an agenda and they set it on its course. Ooh. Cards are flying out sideways, but I need to get them more definite. Okay, what do we got for this Four of Cups? Four of Cups, the ancient ones. And self-mastery. I'm taking all three. The cave. So this is saying that an ancient energy is at play. That it's going to require that mastery, that self-mastery. And this is in the past position. It's also saying that caves, a protective cave, make your home a sanctuary. This one with the tower energy and the chasing after our dreams. Traveler of Dreams, it's saying that we need to use the dream world in order to operate and make these things a reality. Page of Pentacles, working together with groups of people and working on your elements. It's saying meditation. What you will be doing is like a meditation. The Hierophant and empowerment, ancestral tapestry. Your ancestors are watching from the other side. They're backing you up. Don't be afraid to call for their help, because you are the destiny in the future that your ancestors saw, right? Sometimes we like to make ourselves so small, but all that love and all that pride, and that's your ancestors, right? You're the next ancestor. It's beautiful, right? You should be proud of that. It should be amazing. And the initiation, that initiation is through your ancestors. That's what the initiation is. So they're watching from the other side. Hive mind and work. King of Pentacles. Yeah, so when this ending happens, this change happens, it's to put us on this King of Pentacles legacy, building legacy. And the hive mind, that's about working as a hive, right? We all work together. We're the collective. We got to help each other out. We're going to be animating. We're bringing things to life. So yeah, the spirit world's like, hey, I'm here through laughter. You know, I feel like you're working really hard, but there's that animism. Human beings have the ability to infuse objects and things with life. If you have protective elements like a ring or a necklace, something you can wear, clothing, think of everything that you have as magical and sacred. It's the armor that you wear, right? Infuse yourself with magic. If you have a project, think of it as, no, this isn't just a project. I'm bringing something to life. Like, to me, these decks are alive, right? I've put my life energy into it, and then you put your life energy into it when you focus on them. So we all bring things to life. And you can feel that with certain objects, right? So it's, yeah, here we go. Yep, here we go. Okay, so we're going to be in this maze energy. We're going to feel like kind of hunted, like, you know, defending ourselves, like these witches who had to defend themselves, right? And then the collective consciousness came up again. Really major collective messages. So yeah, whatever we focus our energy on, we manifest and we make it real. So it's saying as a collective, we hold the power. So where do you set your mind to? And if we have this group work where we help each other, we find people of like mind, we can support each other. Like, hey, I'm tired. I can't do this thing. Can you just be a friend and have a cup of coffee with me? You know, I'm forgetting what I was working so hard on. Like, can you help remind me? Or don't even do that. Just sit with me. Help me recharge, right? We help each other. We help each other. And you can do that in the dream world too. This collective, the source, this collective consciousness. I'm going to show you collective consciousness has come up in a big way. So these are lessons of how basically the collective, you know, we rule things. We don't seem like we do because there's other people who kind of use us in a way that's not good, right? Through our emotions, through upsetting us, you know, through media, through all these things. They're just like, okay, I got this, and they think of us as a herd. I got this herd figured out. I can direct it any way I want. And it's like, nope, we're sacred, we're divine, spirit has got us. We are these divine spiritual beings. You do not treat spiritual beings like that. That is disrespectful. And so we need to realign with our spiritual purpose. And it's saying here, as we're doing this work, as we're still in a point of trying to heal as a collective, that interference keeps coming in. And you'll know because something bad and something big happens, and then it hijacks the collective. We're in this like fighting defense stage, and then it throws us like kicking an ant pile. Think of someone kicking the ant pile into chaos. And when we're in that energy, we're controlled, you know, and that's a lot of what this is. So we're breaking free, and the divine is helping us. The other cool thing is the spirit world is interjecting. It would have been really cool if we had cosmic sentience, because that would mean that cosmic world outside of our planet would be engaging, but I don't see that. So let's just do from Allison's, who does Moon Nectar Apothecary, just one of the most brilliant people that I've had the pleasure of meeting, and I don't know, her deck really speaks to me. So now I spent yesterday and the day before activating it, and now we have a really good conversation. But her booklet is just so, she's so wise, she's so intelligent. So if you ever want to dive into yourself and use color as like a roadmap, I highly recommend using this deck because it's very potent. Like, it took a while for me and the deck to have a conversation, and now that we do, we are like jamming together. Perspective. Okay, excellent. This beautiful booklet. It is a hefty booklet, and not only that, look at the gorgeous colors Allison used. She really took her time with this. Okay, so a good perspective, and I'm not gonna, I mean, I guess I could try to read the whole thing. Summary. Our perspective in life and all of its varied situations is crucial to our mental state and the way we approach life. The way we think directly influences the outcomes in our life. A positive perspective is an essential factor in our healing from both mental and physical problems. The classic question concerning whether one sees a glass as half empty or half full is a baseline indicator of what a particular person's perspective on life are. If an individual is set in a negative perspective where the glass is half empty and lack is at the forefront of their observations, this person is more likely to feel unhappy and to be unpleasant for others to be around. In the converse, if an individual is focused upon the more optimistic possibilities and generally holds a positive perspective, they will be more than likely to feel gratitude and contentment in their life. At the very least, our perspectives shape our emotional states, and it seems preferable to hold positive outlooks so that we may foster more feelings of positivity. This card is asking you to assess the perspective you are currently holding. Is your glass half empty or half full? So whenever these triggering things are happening, they're made to guide our emotions, and they're made to trigger emotional extremes. That is the ultimate objective, right? Because when you're like that, you immediately lose control, right? But you're like you're an energetic, like, buffet, because you're emoting, right? So if we feel the emotions, we don't let them override, but we acknowledge them, kind of like a cup energy. Okay, why are these things that these people are telling me are like really just getting to me? And then you calmly assess it, know what's happening, process it. Don't repress the emotion, don't control it, right? But you make peace with it, and then you operate from a clear state of mind, right? Keywords: outlook, perceptions, mind state, symbolic connections. From an elevated vantage point, we are able to see more clearly and gain a grander perspective. The term many paths up the mountain can be a helpful analogy when considering perspectives. Would you rather take a hard, grueling journey or a clear, direct path? And that's kind of also displayed in this maze energy. If the final destination remains the same, wouldn't it be more pleasurable to take the clear path? And I do agree in that, because right now we're going in a maze energy, and we don't want that. We want a set of plans. We want a roadmap, right? We want goals and key points, like, oh, check into this, I completed this, like a task list, right? Planetary celestial connections. Sagittarius is the astrological sign related to higher intellect, philosophy, knowledge, learning, and travel. This sign pushes our intellectual limits and helps us expand our mind to think bigger and see a grander cosmology. Embodied connections. Eyes are the windows to the souls and extensions of the brain. The eyes house 70% of the body's sense receptors and take in 90% of all information we learn in a lifetime, according to Jacob Leberman's book, Light Medicine of the Future. He goes on to explain, of the 3 billion messages relayed to the brain every second, 2 billion are sent from the eyes. The posterior third of the brain, which houses the memory bank and much of our intelligence, is also the portion of the brain used for vision, color prescription, cobalt, prompts. Take yourself on a solo date to the highest vantage point you can easily get to, and then it cuts off there. But what's interesting about that, the highest vantage point, I have a feeling it's talking about perspective, right? What is this person doing? They're too close to the situation. So they're rising above it and kind of removing their energy and themselves from it in order to gain a clear perspective. And that's the advice it's giving. Like, this is the perspective that we need to do in order to be successful in this for the collective. This is to benefit the collective. All right, because of that, and because we have interference, and because I am in service to the collective, it's part of the work that I do, I'm gonna say we're gonna block this interference. And to do that, we're gonna do a black candle. And ever so quickly, I'm gonna carve, remove all obstacles. Prevent interference. And I'm going to put protect the collective. And then provide ancestral aid and support. All right. Okay, so this is going to be our candle magic for this week. And just remember, like, if there's interference coming in, we know that this is a thing, right? So don't allow it to happen. Once you're aware of something, it kind of takes the power away from it. We never should be afraid. When we go in fear, we give our power away. So now that we're aware of this interference, we're going to make sure that it doesn't block our blessings, right? Because we're still on this road to manifestation and getting what we want as a collective. And to me, it looks like we just want peace. We want to be happy. People want to do careers that they want. They want to be into practices and things that they love and things that nourish their families, that nourish their friend groups. Some people may just want to be left alone and just do their own thing and make magic in their own little world, and that's okay too. But it's about people having the freedom to live as they choose to, and not there being manipulation to make us live in the way that other people want us to so that they can prosper. And this is our destiny. We're sacred beings and we need to be respected. So this reading was a little bit different, but like I said, it's for the collective, and the work that I do is to support the collective. And let me know what works for you. Let me know what doesn't work, and I can omit stuff from the video. Like if you don't like the candle magic, we can leave that part out. If you love it, we can leave it in. And like I said, this acts as a ritual, so as you play the video, if you give permission, you can do this work with me. And if you don't, you can say, okay, I just want the reading, but I don't want this other energy, and don't give permission, and that's fine too, because it's all about free will. All right, well, sending you many hugs, and I hope all of you are doing great, and I hope, you know, the new year is going in your favor. I know that it will go in our favor. I feel very optimistic and excited about this new year, because as a collective, we're gonna generate the world that we want, you know, and that's totally different from the world that the few want. So, all right, you take care. You take care, and I am so glad that you're watching this video, and well wishes. Mwah.